Did you know that in 1818, at the height of Shaka Zulu's rule as the king of the Zulu kingdom in Southern Africa, the United Kingdom held its fifth general election and the Conservative Party maintained its majority? Or that during the Great Depression in America in 1929, a period marked by the crash of the stock market, widespread bank failures, mass unemployment, and business closures, many African nations either did not exist as independent states or were still colonies? When compared to mature economies of Western countries, our continent is very young, just past the adolescent stage of development. And this fundamental difference in timeliness is why our usual comparisons are so flawed. Yet we often lament over the state of our cities, our transport systems, our schools, and even our democracies when comparing ourselves to nations in the West. What we should be doing is looking towards the Far East, comparing ourselves to countries like South Korea and Singapore. These nations were once behind Kenya in the early 1960s, and they have experienced remarkable economic growth, overtaking many Western countries by leaps and bounds. Hello, I am Rose Kemotho, and today I want us to reflect on why reclaiming pride in our cultural values is fundamental to building sustainable economic prosperity. The rapid rise of Far Eastern economies can be largely attributed to a renewed pride and adherence to their cultural foundations. Values like discipline, efficiency, respect for education, respect for rules, resilience, social cohesion, and strategic planning. Although Western nations are more technologically advanced, these Asian countries are now more innovative, producing higher quality, better priced products. And the reason is simple. They built their economies on strong cultural values that foster environments conducive to rapid development. A friend from South Korea shared with me how during the 1960s, the government sponsored bright students on fully paid scholarships to study in the West. Upon returning, these students contributed their knowledge to both government and industry. The government supported private enterprise by providing loans and creating business-friendly environments. Engineers from small manufacturing firms would dismantle imported Western cars, study each component, and learn how to reproduce them at lower cost. Over time, quality improved, and today, firms like Hyundai are global giants. South Korea's success is rooted in a culture that emphasizes discipline, dedication, respect for authority, collective effort, and continuous learning. Values that have driven innovation and technological advancement. Now, contrast that with the story of two young Kenyan investors who last year created a brain-controlled robotic prosthetic arm from e-waste for persons with disabilities. Sadly, little has been heard of that initiative since. We have seen other young talented inventors fall by the wayside. In the Far East, governments actively promote innovation and prioritize the science and technology sectors. Parents encourage their children from an early age to participate in science fairs and competitions. Here at home, many parents take pride in teaching their children to katika to music instead of laying a firm foundation for a brighter future. Scholarships for overseas study, when awarded through government, are often given to children of or relatives of decision makers, not necessarily the brightest students. Now, culture influences all aspects of our lives, our productivity, the quality of what we produce, how we run our public transport system, our governance, and even our creativity. We have already integrated aspects of our culture that emphasize extended family networks and collective well-being through establishment of circles and chamas that have boosted economic activity by providing small traders and business people access to credit. We have also demonstrated our resilience and adaptability, another aspect of our culture, that is evident in our entrepreneurial spirit, in our Juakali sectors. Young men and women sell goods in markets and hawk food and other items or along our roads, day in and day out, despite challenges. Now it is time we incorporate other vital cultural values like discipline, respect for institutions and the rule of law, courtesy, and ethical leadership across all facets of life. Only then can we confront issues like corruption, disorder and disrespect in our public transport system and in other sectors, which undermine progress and social harmony. Restoring pride in our culture is not just about preserving our identity, it's about unlocking our true potential and paving the way for prosperity. Until next time, bye-bye.